Carson Hall Sikes, son of Gary and Kelly Sikes, graduating from Classic Christian Academy.
Congratulations, you did it. This is a big moment. One that has come to pass way too fast. I still sometimes feel the sting of failures we made while you were growing up. Misspoken words, times when I was too busy or impatient. But you asked a lot of questions. Times when I was slow to understand what you needed or just misunderstood things altogether. Thank you for loving us anyway. You have learned from our mistakes, and your children will learn from yours. That's how it works.
Our little man. You have grown into a man that we are proud to call our son. From the time you started walking, you carried yourself as a man. That's how the name stuck to you. You were just a little version of your dad. When you were little, you had a million questions. From when was ice cream invented, Mom? To later, more complicated ones like, how much torque does an engine have? And I learned very quickly that teaching you was going to be way different than Michaela. Just like your dad, you did math in your head and you were not going to put it on paper except for the answer. And that was the beauty of homeschooling, is that you do not always have to be inside at a table doing your schoolwork. I can do it, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay. You stood up. When you were only 12, you stood up in a room full of farmers and talked to them about hatching chicks and giving advice on incubators and how you were able to take chickens and train poults how to eat. And you did this without even missing a beat. And then when you were decided you wanted to learn more about engines, you wanted to start at Iron Horse in Monroe. And when I talked to them, they said they didn't take anyone until they were 18 for an internship, but that didn't stop you. You went and talked with them and convinced them, and at age 15, they started teaching you about engine repair. And that's just another thing about you. You love to talk, and you do it well, and you can talk to anyone about anything. And we've always said you could even sell snow to Eskimos. Now, as you've grown and become this young man that we are so proud of, you had a project ahead of you for your Eagle Scout. And you wouldn't just settle for anything. Because of your involvement with the fire department, you saw a need in our community. And that's what you set out to do. You decided that there was a helipad that needed to be built, and you started the endeavors to make it happen. You amazed us with your negotiating skills and your leadership and determination in getting the job funded by local businesses and seeing it through to completion. But with all of this, the other part of your education that I see in you is your character. Being a man of your word, having self-control, being patient, well, still working on that one. Being honest and trustworthy and hardworking. Over the last few years, your daddy and I have received several cards in the mail from people about you, and it was actually good. But one in particular stood out because it was somebody I did not recognize the name. And in this handwritten card, the couple had said how impressed they were with your work ethic and at the respect that you had shown them. When your dad saw the card, he recognized the name, but we weren't sure what they had witnessed. When we asked you about it, you shared that a friend's uncle had needed some help at their chicken houses, and you had gone and helped. And you had left an impression on them, enough that they took the time to write us a card. Those impressions speak volumes about you as a man.
My mom told me many times when I was growing up that she hoped I would have a son just like me. She got her wish, or her curse came true, depending on how you look at it. It is in you that I see my strengths and my weaknesses. You're a hard worker, and that has carried you far today. Don't lose that. But life is much more. But life is much about balance. Do not become a workaholic. Take time to stop and smell the roses with the ones you love. You're a very confident young man, much more so than I was at your age. Confidence must be tempered with humility, lest it become cockiness. Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." In my opinion, humility is the greatest trait a leader can have. I believe God has blessed you with the gift of leadership. Use it, and all of your gifts, to the glory of God and not for yourself. While we wish you the best, you will face some tough times ahead. It is your attitude that will make or break you. Life is unfair, as you point out to me regularly. When you are treated unfairly, let it serve to teach you the value of justice. If you suffer betrayal, may it teach you the importance of loyalty. Should you face loneliness, may you never take your friends for granted. May the tough times ahead make you conscious of the role of balance, of the role of chance in life, and that your success is not completely deserved, and that the failure of others is not completely deserved either. When you are ignored, learn the importance of listening to others. And when you suffer pain, take it as a lesson to teach you compassion. Believe me, there is a message in your misfortunes. Regarding attitude, Charles Swindoll said something that has stuck with me for years, and I have found it to be very true. And I'd like to share it with you now. The longer I live, the more I realize the importance of attitude on life. Attitude is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, or a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes.
Just know, keep God first, and that your family was always here to support you, and always surround yourself with your Christian friends. Relationships matter more than always being right. And in the end, people matter more than things, but love matters most.
Carson, it is our honor and privilege to present you your high school diploma.
Thank you, graduates and parents. Now, graduates, would you please come forward to the front stage? And parents of the graduates, please come, and I invite you to place your hands on your graduates as David Pinion prays for the graduates.